So as you saw in last week's episode, we finally splashed the boat. We cannot wait to take you with us on our next adventure. Welcome to Season 5.
'Cause I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soles for all the world to see, yeah. I am a barefoot man, feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls, come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues, come along with me.
Alright, so as you can see behind me, we are on the water. We haven't been too good at giving you updates in the past few days.
Well, the reason for that being is we've left Fort Pierce, alright? We're staging now to go back to the Bahamas. We've made it down to Miami, and you really didn't want to see that another trip down the ICW. We've shown it to you, what, twice?
Yeah.
So, done with that. Don't bother filming that. So anyway, we're staged. Thought we were going to film leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
What's happened today, Beth?
Well, everything is everywhere. So, the house is a mess. We've had to open up behind the helm again, and this is where the autopilot controls are. So when we were coming across from Dinner Key to No Name Harbor to stage for tomorrow, the autopilot was not functioning. So it was reading something really funny. So we've just been troubleshooting that. We've been on with Garmin on their help site thing. Still waiting for one more reply. Thank you, Paul. You'll probably never see this. Anyway, so we have figured out the problem with the autopilot already. And the problem with the autopilot was...
So there's a controller on the box. It's the main like ECU, if you will, the brain of the autopilot.
Control unit box.
And that's got multiple connections going in and out of it, power in, the connections, the information from the sensor, header sensor. And the autopilot RAM itself, I think when I've been doing some hard overs, because I've been steering with the autopilot quite a bit, and when it's been hard over, like I try and go 10-15 degrees in one hit, like in the ICW and stuff, moving around, mucking around, the cables have been a little bit tight. So I think when the RAM's at full extension, it's been pulling on the cables on the back of the ECU, and it slowly managed to work one of those out. So with the help of Paul, they've been fantastic on the Garmin site. He told us where to troubleshoot, where to find it. We found that one, reconnected it, and that's great. So I'm going to readjust all the cables down there so that that doesn't happen again. But one of the bilge pumps also has been starting to go off.
Yeah, so when we had this open and we were playing around with this, one of the bilge pumps in the port engine room kept going off. And I was like, that's weird. And I was even thinking the other day, we never really have our bilge pumps go off. And all of a sudden...
Actually, never.
Never. So Davy popped down there, and sure enough, there was some leaking coming from the raw water pump.
So we got the raw water pump off. And 100% you can see here from the rust marks on the bottom, and I can see at the back of the engine where the water's been coming, and it's just in here. So the impeller's come out, which has actually also lost one of its fins, which is not good. I should have checked those before. So that's bad on me. Anyway, the fin's gone. I'm gonna have to find that. Went up one of the pipes, so I'll find that in the pipes in a minute. So I'm gonna change out the impeller, obviously, and I need to change out the water seal. Luckily, I didn't think we had any. Looks like we got
a few. 2
spares. Whew. Lucky, because we've got 2 raw water pumps. I better have gone the other side next week.
Yeah,
but
we'll
anyway,
check the other side, yeah?
Well, I'm going to check it's not leaking. I'm not going to rebuild that one today. I think that was the last one I rebuilt, not this one. Alright, anyway, let me get on with this, guys. I'm going to rebuild this thing and get back to you. I need to find a way to hold that on my hands. There's not enough.
Maybe someone needs to eat their Wheaties.
Can you give me a hammer and put the camera down?
Okay, so the spare parts that we had, the seals, this one is actually not the right one. So when we ordered it last time, they either sent us the wrong one or maybe we ordered the wrong one. I'm not sure.
The rest of the kit was right, but...
The rest of the kit's right, so we don't actually have any water seals. The other one that we had, it was slightly damaged on the side.
And I've tried to push it in, and as you push it in, where's the right... As you push it in, you might be able to see. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, because it had a slight damage on the side of it. It pushes up on the lip here, and that's exactly where the damage was. I just thought I'd try and get it in there and see if it would seal. It's not exactly the way we should be traveling out to islands where there's no parts, but fingers crossed. We've called a friend, Chris. We are praying, buddy, that you can find this part for us today so we can still leave first thing in the morning. Otherwise, we're stuck here in Miami for about another week.
Yeah, so
And it's not the worst place in the world to be stuck. I mean,
No.
look at it, it's beautiful around here. But plan was tomorrow also we're dropping a buddy's dinghy off. Brian, fingers crossed for Chris,
Well,
mate.
and also when you were planning on going to the islands and stuff, especially when you're traveling with a dog, we had to get a health certificate for Foxy this morning.
Oh.
I don't know if that's going to cause us issues when we get to the Bahamas, that's not within 48 hours. But that cost $200 to get her a health certificate this morning.
Yeah, I
so,
forgot about that one.
If we're stuck here for another week, are we going to have to go in and get another health certificate? I've already paid on Click to Clear the $600 for the year permit for the Bahamas.
That's all right, that's fine.
That's
just
fine, that's
active.
okay. But
And the
it's
dog's not getting off the boat for a week, so that's weird. So that's fine.
Foxy's
we
going to be miserable.
She just can't get off the boat for a week.
Yeah.
Sorry, Foxy.
Wherever you are.
Wherever she's gone. I
Fox!
think she's sunbathing. Alright guys, anyway, stand by, we'll get back to you and let you know what we find out, but we're fingers crossed at the moment that our good buddy Chris will help us out.
Fox, are you okay to stay on the boat for a week? Do you want to go to the Bahamas? Not yet, Foxos. We got issues. Okay, so an update. We have been waiting the past couple days to get the part in that we need for the raw water pump. So we didn't end up getting a rebuild kit. We got 2 new pumps. So thank you, Just Catamarans. You were able to send the part to us. The only issue is it's slightly different part number than what we ordered, but it should work.
It won't be a major problem. The pump is the same, but they've sent it with a different bracket on, but we have brackets that came off of our engine, so we can literally, it looks like it'll be a straight swap. I believe that part is the same, just the bracket is different. So, not too worried, but I'm gonna have to, I thought I could just install these, bolt them on, but I'm gonna have to strip them down, get the wheel off, change the brackets out, and then we'll be good to go. But that's no major deal. We can get that done.
So, those 2 parts are the same.
Pretty simple, swap over, it's just the bracket that's different. Had a little moment there where I was like, oh. Beauty of a brand new pulley.
Wicked. Wicked. So I guess it is kind of a good thing that this happened before we went to the Bahamas, because getting these pumps shipped into the Bahamas would not have been an easy mission. It is doable, but wouldn't be the best. And if we were halfway across the Gulf Stream when we found out that this pump was leaking, and if it got worse, we could have been up Shit's Creek. So, everything happens for a reason, right? Any words of wisdom?
I was just checking the flow direction, but I'd presume it's just the identical as the one that one. It doesn't actually say on the pump. But it will be the same. Those parts are identical, it was just the bracket that was different, so. There's one. Should we do the other one at the same time?
If you wanna.
We might as well, haven't we?
I can't really see what you're doing in there.
It's all the way back. All the way in the back.
So when I painted the engine room, I still had a battery there, so I might need a bit of a touch up at some point. Alright, so we're up bright and early. Oh dear.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we haven't done a hair or anything. It's terrible.
No. So after a lot of hard work here on the boat in the States, we're headed back to the Bahamas.
Yeah, we need a vacation. That's what we need. We need a vacation after all the hard work. So bright and early, heading across from Miami, and we're going to go check in the Berry Islands. What was the name of Great
Harbor Key.
Great Harbor Key. So it's about a 22-hour run.
Alright, we're back.
Alright, we're back. A little bit of a camera fire. So there is a little bit of north component in the wind today, but it looks like it's under 10 knots. So 6 to maximum gust was about 11. So
is that under 10?
it's under 10. Basically, it's under 10 knots with sustained wind. So that should mean that the Gulf Stream should be quite kind to us. And I personally, it just feels like, it feels good. So we're going for it. I think the first time we went across we wouldn't have gone because it's blowing out the north.
Yeah.
Even there's
no wind.
There's no wind.
It's calm.
Yeah. So let's get it done. Let's go to the
Let's go to the Bahamas! What's going on?
I think we got Marty on the line. Thought it was Marty. I think we've caught him weird, so that's why he's dragging. So we've caught him exactly in the mouth. Right. Get chopped up by the engine.
And we lost it.
Fish off, not fish on. Was a fish though.
Maybe we'll get him back.
Try another one. There's normally, where there's one, there's normally more.
You have sweat dripping off
I
your
have.
nose.
I thought I was reeling a massive clump of seaweed. Didn't fight like a fish. I think we had him foul hooked, maybe around on the gills or something. Because he didn't do his normal fight. It felt like I was just dragging him. And then mahis are also quite soft skinned. So that's probably why the hook fall out.
Alright, so we had mentioned that there was a little bit of north component in the wind today. It's really not too bad out here. We have had some bigger rollers, maybe 5 foot, but it's really not been too bad. So now that we've dealt with that fishing situation, we're going to put the engines back up to about 6 knots and maybe we'll catch another one.
Alright guys, not sure how much you can see. I've got the lights off and I've got some red light outside, but anyway, it's welcome back to the Bahamas. So we did come in and stop at Bimini for the night. It's pretty much light winds, but of course the Bahamas has given us a nice welcome back at 4:30 in the morning with a nice squall that's come off of Florida out of the southwest, which is basically the only direction we don't have any protection from at the moment. Anyway, so far so good, but we're all prepped, all up, drag anchor alarms on, and to be honest, I'm just glad I'm not the newbie at the Bahamas at this time of year, because there is a catamaran which is behind us. It's literally about 100 foot off the beach, so I'm glad this time it's not me in that position. Anyway, keep you updated. Talk to you in the morning.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a welcome back to the Bahamas without a squall like we had last night. When we arrived yesterday, we anchored just outside of the channel in Bimini instead of going into a marina. We didn't really want to get stuck in Bimini for an extended period of time, so we decided to anchor out, which maybe was the problem because the squall came around and it made it a bit of a brutal night. But anyways, when the sun came out this morning, we pulled up the anchor and we've headed towards Cat Key where we are now. It's beautiful, but it is a private island, so I think we might have a few issues with taking the little furry thing to land to do our business. So we've decided we're gonna just shoot off pretty quickly tomorrow to go to Great Harbor Key. Also, side note, when we checked into the Bahamas, we had no issues with Foxy's paperwork or anything like that. So we're looking forward to this next chapter in the Bahamas once again.